Hello. Okay, so today's kind of like a twofer because one, I've cut this one out and I could have cut it ahead of time, but I wanted to show you guys how to cut this, the pattern out, as well as install a zipper and then grommets. I'm going to show you how I do the grommets. So yeah, I think I put all the links in the description box. The link for the pattern for Sally Tomato, this is a free pattern on Sally Tomato's website. So happy that she was able to let me film it. So I'm really excited about that. So this is what we're making today. Very cute, very hot pinkish. This floral vinyl can be found on my website. Okay. I think I linked the tangled fabric instead because I thought I had enough tangled to do this with. But the scrap pieces that I have for tangled don't quite fit. Like they can make strips, like if I wanted to piece this together and then put the clear vinyl. But the way the instructions have it is the way I'm gonna do it today. So without further ado, let me see. Okay, and then we're gonna get our pieces and then I'll show you what we're gonna need. So for your pattern pieces, or pieces that you're going to need, you're going to need 9 inches of zipper by the yard. If you're using something different, then you know, keep up with what that is. I think if it's, you could get away with using a 9-inch ruler, maybe even 8 on the actual pocket piece itself. So just to let you guys know about that. So this is what we need. Okay. Then you're going to need some Decafil Light or Decafil Heavy, any type of stiff stabilizer to go where the grommets are going to go, just so that it could really help reinforce those holes, especially if you're vinyl or anything like that is kind of on the thin side. You're going to need some clear vinyl. I have clear vinyl. Someone's in there, sweetheart. So this is clear vinyl. I think this is 8 gauge. We sell this on the website as well, so if you guys need this. And this is just plain clear vinyl. I mostly use it to do card slots, but it's also great for little pouches like this, like little window pockets. If you're ever needing to turn it out, it's probably not going to be the best because this is more like a PVC type of clear vinyl versus a TP. A TP is nice and soft, which is great, but sometimes it's not as great for using these type of smaller projects. That's acting more like a window rather than the entire structure. You're going to need 1 piece for your back, and you're going to need 1 piece for your front side. She gives you a really good tip on how to make it so that you're not seeing the back side of something. So see, mine is raw, so the back of mine you can see it from here, but she gives you a really good tip on that, and I'll show you guys that if you want to do that. Or you can get HTV, heat transfer vinyl, and put it on there. That would be great as well because you could just quickly put it on there, and then that's the image you would see through the clear vinyl. So it's very good for you, especially if you have a theme type of thing. So those are the pieces that you're going to need. You're going to need 3 grommets, either 3/8 or 1/2 inch grommets, whatever you can get your hands on. I'm going to show you how I do it with my press as well as the actual hand tool itself, so you guys can have that information. So you're going to need your pattern piece cut out. So you're going to cut out exterior lines, and then you're going to cut out inside these boxes and this big box. So this rectangle here and this rectangle here. I went ahead and did hole punches where the marking was for my grommets to go, and I'll transfer that onto the fabric. And then this here just gives you the general information about what sizes things you're going to need, what items you're going to need, what's the best recommended fabrics to use, as well as very in-depth. It doesn't tell you step by step on what to do, but Sally Tomato does have a link to her sewing video or sewing tutorial right there, and it's very helpful. It's straight to the point and get it done. So it doesn't take very long to do this. I'm going to go ahead and tip you guys down so you guys can see what I'm working on. That's good. You guys can see that very well. Perfect. Okay, so pattern piece, and then this is the backing. I cut both my backing and this front piece. I'm going to have to cut out again the same size, and you'll see why we did that, because it actually fits perfectly where we want it to be. So that's great. So you're going to just establish which one is going to be your back and which one is going to be your front. I'm going to have this be my front. I'm going to have this be the back. Remember, if you didn't want to see this texture on the other side, you can go ahead and put HTV on it, or you could do the suggestion that Sally had on, that Sally Tomato did on hers. Alright, so I'm going to get the pattern, and when it comes to this type of thing, when I have directional fabric or anything like that that has strips, I like to go ahead and clip and make my marks on the right side of the fabric, so just to see what I'm looking at, what's going to get cut out. It's very helpful to do that cutting out of that particular piece ahead of time. So we've done that. Let me go ahead and clip this down in a couple of spots so it doesn't shift on me. Now remember, we still have camp going on, so if it gets a little rowdy or something like that, that's why. Just so you guys are aware. Okay, so for this you're going to need a marker, some kind of marking tool. You can definitely use a silver marking pen on this vinyl. What I like to first do is go ahead and make my marks for where my grommets are gonna go. Done that. Now here I like to just make a quick little mark just so that I can see where I have to go when it comes to cutting, because I start with my rotary cutter but then I finish with scissors just so that I don't go over past where I need to go. Okay, I'm not even moving my pattern piece. I'm just going to go line ahead, line it up with it really close. I need to stand to do this so that you guys can see. I'm not going all the way past my line because I don't want to overcut, so I'm going to get close but then stop. Okay, so I've done that, and I'm going to rotate it so that I can go ahead and get this side. I'm using cardstock, which is great because it helps me put the blade right up against that piece there. I can just really butt it up to it and not have it move too much on me. If you see a little bit hanging off, that's okay. We can trim that down after we've got both pieces together. Alright, so I've done that. Now we can go ahead and take our pattern piece off. I'm going to show you guys what we have. So we have the slits cut. Slits are cut. So that, oh, I needed to cut these sides too. But it's okay, I can just do it with a ruler. Remember, we're getting close to those marks, but not past the marks, because we want to use our scissors to finish off the cutting process. Okay. Alright, so this is that other little piece that we're talking about. So you can put this aside for just a second. And then let me go ahead and cut out my zipper. Using my scissors to get really close to those corners and just kind of pluck it out so I'm not over cutting. So you guys can hopefully can see that I stopped just shy of the actual corner. And then getting to it and then going across. And then that comes right off. Okay, so now we have our exterior. We have our backing, okay, and then we have our clear, our interfacing, and our zipper. The first thing we're going to need, let me show you this real quick. So you can use the pattern piece or you can use this piece to do what I'm about to do here. So if you wanted to and want to see the same design all the way through, you can take your piece, lay it down about where it needs to go, just like that, and then you're going to take this, and that's not matching up, so I can go. So you can kind of take some beacon glue. You can take some of this fabric tack beacon glue, put it around the edges, and then when you pull this up, that will be left there, so you can go ahead and use your beacon on there and let it dry. And then you can either stitch around or you can just leave it the way it is. That's what it looks like. Okay, I'm not going to do that today. If I would have had time, I would have put HTV on this. Would have been really great. Something fun and sparkly would have been great, like a glitter would be awesome. Take this piece and set it aside because this is actually great for a pencil pouch. So now that I have two of them, I might make a pencil pouch. All right, take our back piece, put it aside. All we're going to need is our zipper. At this time, handy tools that you can use are either a long clip, such as these that can really go across like that to hold the zipper tape in place, or you can use double-sided vinyl tape. All right, so we're going to split this open and insert our zipper. Okay, go ahead and install my zipper just like that. So now what I'm going to do is on my zipper, I'm going to go ahead and add my zipper tape. So if you wanted to use a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, I'm sorry, 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch, I'm using 1/8 of an inch just on the outside of the zipper tape. I'm going to peel one side off. And just imagine if this is where the 3 binder or the grommets are going to be, is on this wider side. So if you had it like this, right, you want to zip from the top to the bottom. So close up, open down is what I want to do. So I'm just going to line this up like so, and that's what I'm going to portray when I sticking to me. Okay, you're just kind of trying to center it as much as you can with the tape. So just have as much exposed tape on both sides as you can. Take this piece over here now that that one is down and peel that one back, just like so, and then put it down. So that's what it's going to look like. Now it tells us to go ahead and do a stitch around the outside of the zipper, so just so everything in place. I absolutely love my double-sided tape, so I've got 6 of y'all today. And that's what we're looking for. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get our clear, okay, and then you can take this protective covering off. I don't think this one has a film on it. Sometimes it has a film on it, so you may want to check just to make sure on the corner that there's no an extra piece of film that's protecting it. I don't think there is on this one. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back around, and I'm going to use double-sided tape all the way around to secure my clear vinyl. Okay, so just like that. This time I'm just peeling the short ends. Well, I'll peel it all, it's not that big of a deal. Now, here, for warning here, if you unstick all of your tape and you're putting your clear down, as soon as this vinyl hits that double-sided tape, it will pull it up. So if you have to reposition, it's probably going to get stuck. The tape itself is probably going to get stuck onto the clear vinyl, which is not a big deal, really. But I'm just letting you know in case it happens to you. Just want to go ahead and line this up and push it down. Okay, just gonna put that down, this down, and lift it if you need to and kind of reposition it. Just make it nice and flat. You don't want it bubbly. You want it so that it sews down flat as possible, just like that. Got a little piece of rogue thread right there. So see what I mean? It's like really hard to reposition it because it stays on here, which is fine, but I just want to make sure my vinyl gets down and that it's not wavy. It's the biggest thing. There we go. So now that's there. Now I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way around that clear vinyl. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the back side, and this is what it looks like on the front. Pretty neat. So now what you can do is you can baste this piece on right here. I think I made it too thick. I kind of just eyeballed it. I know I shouldn't, but I did. For the stabilizer, you just want to go ahead and have that right there. What you don't want it doing is passing the seams on the top or bottom or the left and right. I think I'm going to shorten it just a little bit so that it's not so much close to each edge. Just like that. So you can use double-sided tape or you can use your beacon glue. I'm going to use double-sided tape, and for this one I'm going to use a 1/2 inch. So different increments help you with different things. It doesn't necessarily mean that one is better than the other per se. It just means it's just different applications for different sizes. Okay, so now we're going to take this one and put it down, and it's going to be pretty sides touching, just like that. So if it's a little bit big somewhere, it's okay. You can always trim that down. This top piece does shift a little bit, so in case you're wondering why it's not exactly the same size, when I'm sewing it does have a tendency to shift a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to sew all the way around the exterior, and then we'll install our grommets. So right through here, I'm going to go ahead and trim up. I'm going to go ahead and trim. it's sewn. Now we need to add our grommets. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how I do it with the punch, and then I'll show you how to do it with the press. Punch is super easy. Usually when you buy a set, you get the grommets and you get a punching tool. So one of them is to punch a hole, and one of them is to set the grommet with this other piece. Okay, I'm gonna go like so, line it up. I'm gonna go ahead and just center it up with that mark that I made. So that's what it looks like. So if I was using my hole, it would go through instead. Alright, so now for setting. Like I mentioned, it comes with the flats and then the dome pieces that have a protrusion out of it. So I need 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. I bought this like a year ago off Amazon, and I've only used like maybe 6 or 7 of them so far. I bought it for a project, and then I quite frankly forgot I even had them. So okay, so this one here, the one that looks more like a top hat type of situation, is gonna go from the front to the back. Then I'll take my flat piece, put it down at the bottom, put my grommet on top, and then press it down. If you did it properly, you're going to see that the front looks nice and clean, and the back might have a little bit of things sticking out, but it's not the end of the world. I think the biggest thing is that this hole isn't quite large enough for this grommet piece. Okay. Flat piece down. The dome portion goes down, and like the canal version of it goes up. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, almost there. The reason you put the flat, or the one that looks more like a top hat in the front, is because it actually lends itself to be prettier on that side right versus the other side. So if you kind of oopsies a little bit, I almost had a disaster there. Okay, so those are the back pieces. They're not as pretty as the front. That's why you use the other ones for the front pieces. And that's that easy. Even on a live, took 30 minutes, the grommets. So it's super pretty. Like I said, if you wanted to use the spare piece inside, you could have used this inside so that it looks like it's all one piece. You know, you can make it look like that, right? Or you could put some heat transfer vinyl or permanent vinyl down on this, and you're all set to go. It's super fun, super easy, great addition to your back to school supplies. Who doesn't want some pencils and some crayons, maybe some notes and little bits that you need to carry with you in your binder that you don't want to lose. So there you go. Alrighty, guys. Okay, it's cute, isn't it? It is super cute. Very, very cute. I love it. I think for so much. I think it's Jessie from Sally Tomato that let me use this pattern. It's super cute, very fun, easy. I mean, it's like fast. 30 minutes on a live, and grommets and zipper and everything's installed. There's no lining pieces. There's no fuss, no muss kind of thing. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you want to catch me tomorrow, I will be on Shanova's channel doing the captain's log with her, and we're going to be making the primrose pattern. And this pattern is going to have TPU at the bottom and then jelly at the top. So I'm going to be cutting out a couple of those today, so I'm going to make a few of them and just kind of like give them away as gifts. Maybe give one to my son's teacher. I'm his teacher. My kids homeschool, so I make one for myself, right? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I think I'm just catching some kind of seasonal. So tomorrow, I'm doing a different pattern. So Jaded, we're actually doing the Captain's Log at 8:30 with Shanova, and then at 2 p.m. I have another sewing video for a free pattern, because I'm trying to do free patterns for the back to school sewing projects that we're doing, the sewing series. All free patterns that either I've self-drafted or I've sourced and asked permission to use it on my YouTube channel. Alright guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and I've already said this like twice or 3 times, maybe 4 times. Thank you so much. Make one. I want to see it. Tag me at Garner Sewing Room, #Garner Sewing Room, and I will see you guys later. Bye.